Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to the Garn Report. Another win. Make it 23 out of 29 for the Celtics now as they move into a tie for the fourth seed with the Chicago Bulls, just a half game back of the 76ers. I'm Bobby Manning. And same story for the Celtics essentially as on Wednesday. Fifth straight game for Jayson Tatum with 30 points. They have trouble with Detroit as expected, even with all the injuries that the Pistons had coming in, Isaiah Stewart, Amadou Diallo, and others. It's Marvin Bagley in the pick and roll, and it's Cade Cunningham pouring 27 points in three quarters and really getting the best of Marcus Smart for much of that matchup as those two were going at each other for a fun three quarters there before the fourth hit. And Detroit, really for the first time in this entire NBA season, didn't hit a shot through the entirety, I'd say first 11 minutes of that first quarter up until the last minute and a half there where Luka Garza poured in a jumper and Sadiq Bey got to the rim against the garbage time unit for Boston. So Celtics starters essentially hold Detroit to 7 points and no shots made in that fourth quarter. I think it was 0 of 8 that they held them to. 4 turnovers. Jayson Tatum gets a tip away from Isaiah Livers. Detroit had its bench unit in. Say what you want about that and their intention of winning this game. Peyton Pritchard got a steal on Kelly Olynyk. A couple turnovers by Olynyk to start the fourth, and the Celtics were out running and gunning. Only up 2 after the third. They lead by as many as 18 in that fourth quarter. Just unload on the Pistons there. Tatum, who was in a battle with Cade for most of this game, ended up blowing by him, getting up to 31 and winning that matchup. And another excellent night for him where he's slipping off screens and getting to the free throw line against mismatches like Corey Joseph, spinning around them and getting downhill, running on the break. Tatum doing all those things. And Marcus Smart, in a game where Tatum was frustrated, got a technical, complaining, arms up in the air after a bunch of calls, it was back to that Tatum, which has settled down at times. Smart in this physical matchup, in this game where guys are on the floor, battling for loose balls inside, ton of free throws both ways, a long game here. Smart was in his element, diving on the floor, taking the ball away from Cade to get a breakout going. 5 steals overall for Smart in this one. He was great. And this debate has opened up around the league. Is it Smart who's the defensive player of the year? Is it Rob? Both of them, I think, have unique cases. Smart with the reputation, the organization that Robert Williams talked about at shoot-around today. Here was Rob talking about Smart, who he endorsed for defensive player of the year.
I think Smart deserves it, to be honest. A lot of my defensive grit, and my will to fight out there, I get from just watching him, even in practice. Him being vocal, him on the court. He's a great defensive anchor for us, but he's a better leader, and he doesn't even know it. He's always talking, putting guys where they need to be. So just me, I feel like Smart should be the number one runner for that. But we try to help each other when we're out there a lot. I try to learn from him, like I just said, as much as possible. So I feel like if anybody deserves it, it's him for sure.
So there's Smart's case. I guess Rob's is statistical, and that's what this comes down to a lot of the time. Big men are heavily awarded in this category here of the top defensive player for a season. And Rob has the field goal percentage against, holding opponents to a significant percentage below their usual amount. Top 5 in block percentage, disruptive with deflections and steals even among big men. He's way up there. This is a big statistical profile that Rob carries at that position, not to mention his value within the scheme that I think makes him a little more deserving. Now, it'd be very cool to see Smart win. As he notes post-game here, it's not often that you see players like Michael Jordan, Kawhi Leonard, the perimeter defenders of the league, Gary Payton, win Defensive Player of the Year, and it would certainly be a complete affirmation of Smart's career as one of the best defenders in basketball. Here's what he had to say about this conversation.
Yeah, I don't see why it's so hard for a guard to win it. We talk about what bigs do, and I'm not taking anything from bigs, but we gotta first understand that in order for the guy to get to the big, he got to get by his guards first. And most of the time we making it so tough that by the time he gets to him, big, all you gotta do is send it back the other way. We're doing the majority of the hard work, but for us to not to even be talked about in the discussion, let alone win it is, I think that's some BS. We all know it. It's a popularity contest. You got me and Rob. I mean, we're not even in the discussion for it on the best defensive team in the league. I mean, I think that says enough for us. So, I mean, I'm not too stressed about it. Like I said, I don't play the game for the individual accolades. I play the game to win games, and that's my job. And whatever comes with it, I'm blessed to be able an opportunity to be in a discussion or whatever. But it definitely is. It does suck for us guards who, you grind, you sacrifice your body. You're the one diving on majority of the loose balls. You're the one taking the charges. You're the one taking the bumps and the bruises and sending it to the big man and making sure, as individually, you do everything you can before he gets to that back line of defense. And, so it's tough. But like I said, for me, it is what it is. I'm here to win games, and that's what I care about.
So that concluded a fun Friday here at TD Garden. Even for Detroit, we knew these teams. I've called it their regular season playoff matchup. A lot of people in the first quarter saying, oh, good thing Celtics aren't going to see the Pistons in the playoffs, certainly. And they've given the Celtics fits. This is the last matchup between these two. Paul Pierce was baseline behind what was the Celtics' first half basket, pumping up the crowd in the fourth quarter, getting them going on the defensive end, and lining up with a row of Celtics legends and other Celtics-associated people, including Kelly Olynyk, who couldn't believe my eyes, took to the line at half court and was there for the announcement of Celtics homecomings. And as the flooded tweets alerted me, yes, Game 7. I guess you do put him in the alumni group for his heroics that led the Celtics to the 2017 Eastern Conference Finals. I guess a fitting end to a lot of Isaiah Thomas conversation this week because Kelly Olynyk, as we remember, 14-0 over John Wall in that Game 7 against the Wizards. Talk about a wacky night here. And this was one, too. Celtics end up winning anyway, 114-103, blow the Pistons away in the fourth quarter and continue to play some of the best defense in the NBA, while Tatum prepares for a one-on-one at the peak of their powers with Luka Doncic. We will have wall-to-wall coverage of Kevin Garnett night at CLNS Media here at TD Garden, where at 3:30 the Mavericks and Celtics are going to tip off. Just an incredible game, landmark night in Celtics history. They already have the balloons out front there on Causeway Street. Number of legends are going to be in attendance, including, according to Gary Washburn, Ray Allen. If you want to see that thing finally meet its resolution, it feels like we're going to on a very special night this season for this team and for Celtics legends as they prepare to raise number 5 up to the rafters here. I'm Bobby Manning, CLNS Media, Celtics All Access. Celtics win 114-103 over the Pistons. We will see you on Sunday.